Polymer clay is a great medium for creating jewelry. It has that touch of elegance with that Christmas flair. It's also great for those Christmas outfits or gift giving or even selling. I'm Elaine. I'm a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems, and I'm going to show you today how to make your own Christmas-inspired polymer clay necklace. We're going to make a leaf and some berries, a larger berry with two smaller berries down at the bottom. And all the items that you see in this video today are listed down in the links below.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
The colors I'm using today are a jade green and a cherry pie red. So let's start with the leaf first. What I'm going to do is roll it out. I've used a pasta machine in my previous videos to roll out my clay, but today I'm using a really great tool that are acrylic plates, and they come actually in a package, and they range from 0.2 to all the way to 2 millimeters, which I'm using today. And it's really great because what I'm going to do is roll this clay out, and I'm going to flatten it out just a little bit so it's easier to roll out with my roller. And then I'm going to place just it in between these two plates, and I'm going to take my acrylic roller and I'm just going to keep rolling. And what it does is it actually flattens the clay and measures it to the exact width of the plate. And that's exactly what I need. And there you have it. It's that easy. Then I'm going to remove the plates. And then what I did was I went online and I found an image, a free image of a leaf. And you can just cut this out, and I'm going to use that as my template. So I'm just going to press that down. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to trace around that leaf. And we're just going to get a wonderful leaf pattern. Now, like I said, I'm using jade green, but you could use any color you want. We have a good selection of different colors of polymer clay, and anywhere from a light green to a dark green, but I just prefer this type of color green. It goes more with my wardrobe. So I'm going to take that extra off here. And now you can see I'm going to take the paper off, and I have a leaf shape here, and I'm just going to use my fingers just to shape it a little bit. And you'll notice that it doesn't have any veins yet, but now hold that thought. We're going to make some veins. I'm now going to put the veins that we have in the leaf into my leaf here. And you can get creative. And I'm just going to start using my toothpick here. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be neat, because once we start using the mica powder and the other stuff, it's going to come out. And you know what? I'm following the pattern that's on the leaf there, but I actually like more veins. So I am going to go in and add just a little bit more and get creative. And this is very simple design, so you can actually do this craft with your kids or your grandkids or your daughter. It's just an easy project. It's not hard at all. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking for. And now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of mica powder, and I'm going to go lightly over that leaf. All right, so I have here just a little bit of mica powder, and what I'm going to do is add just a few drops of rubbing alcohol. Not a whole lot, just enough right there, and I'm going to mix. And what that does is it turns into a little bit of a paint. Because it's alcohol, this thing's going to evaporate. It makes the mica powder stick and not fly away so much, because mica powder can be very touchy. Doing these type of Christmas projects really brings me back to my childhood and wanting to play with Play-Doh and clay at Christmas time. Okay, so now that we got that painted, like I said, don't worry about it. It's going to dry. By the time you're ready to bake this, the alcohol has evaporated and ready to go. But what I do want to do and show you is, before I do bake it, I want to just kind of turn it up a little bit and give it that little curved leaf effect. Now that we have the mica powder, I'm going to put the hole at the top, and you want it close enough to the top, because remember, we're going to put a jump ring through there. Okay, so it's just with a toothpick, we're just going to make a slight hole, and there you have it. It's ready to go into the oven. Next, I'm going to do the berries, and I'm going to cut 3 balls, but one is going to be slightly larger for the top one, and then the 2 slightly smaller ones at the bottom. Okay, so I'm ready to make the berries, and I have 3 pieces of clay here. One's slightly larger, and then 2 smaller ones. This one's going to be for the larger berry, and these are going to be for the 2 smaller berries. And we're just going to roll them into a ball, which is simple and easy. And it doesn't take much. We just want to get that berry shape. Okay, next I'm going to assemble 2 head pins and eye pin into these berries. The eye pin we're going to use for the larger berry because we're going to actually have a drop that comes below that. And then so I'm just going to carefully just push it all the way through and try not to mess up your berry shape. You can roll it back into shape if you want. And you don't want to push it all the way through either on the end because we're going to bake the berry right on the eye pin. I'm going to do the same thing for the smaller berries. Okay, so now I'm going to just give these berries a light gold shimmer. Here I have just a little touch of gold mica powder. And instead of just dusting them where it gets all over the place, I just want a light shimmer, so I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and carefully just put a little in the tray. And I'm just going to mix a little bit of that together. And you can see it's just really watery, but don't worry about that because it's great that it's alcohol. It's going to evaporate. So I just need a little bit. This is probably even more than I need. And I love that I have it on the eye pins and the beads because now I can have a holding place. So I'm just going to lightly brush. This is all customizable and do what you'd like to do. But I like most of my red shining through, so I'm just going to do just real light coverage. As you can see, it gets kind of messy, but again, that alcohol dries quickly. So, but as you can see here, I have my very favorite friend, the baby wipes. So if you had watched my previous tips on polymer clay tips, you'll know that actually 2 of my favorite things, alcohol and baby wipes, are always at my my workstation. So, and there you have it. That was easy to clean up there. Okay, now that they're all baked, I baked them in the oven at 275 for about 15 minutes, but remember to always read the manufacturer instructions on the package. So let's start assembling. I'm going to actually take the eye pin out because we're going to add a bead cap. So now with the bead cap, we're going to put the bottom first. That kind of acts like a little holder there. And then we're going to reinsert the pin. And then we're going to put the top of the bead cap on. And it shows like a beautiful little ornament on that. I'm going to make a simple loop on the top of my bead cap here. I'm going to take my chain nose plier, make a 90-degree bend. And then I'm going to take my round nose and just curve that right over. Make it nice and tight like that. And then I'm going to just reach for my flesh cutters here, and we're going to just snip off that little extra that we do not need. And then just take my needle nose just a little bit so I could straighten out that loop. And there you go, there's that. There's the first one. Now we're going to take and do one of the small berries. Same thing, but I just don't have a bead cap on this one. So we're going to turn, make a 90-degree bend, get my round nose, do the same, make a simple loop at the top, and then make a little snip again. There we go, and just going to take this and just straighten out my loop. And then we're just going to repeat that to the second berry that you have for the small one there. And then we're going to attach these. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of chain here that I've cut. I have a 1.5 inch and a 2 inch. I went ahead and attached the 2 inch to the first berry. I'm going to show you how to attach the second one. So I'm going to get my 6mm jump ring here, pick it up, and just slightly open it. And then I'm going to put the berry through the jump ring. And I'm going to put the chain through the jump ring. And then we're going to close that nice and tight. And then we have our small berries ready to go. All right, so now we are going to attach our little leaf to the big berry and with our small berries. Okay, now we're going to start assembling all the pieces of the necklace. So I have a 6mm jump ring here, and I'm going to put that through the bottom of our bead cap. And we're just going to close that up and get that ready for the necklace. And here I have an 8mm jump ring. I'm going to take that and we're going to go through the leaf here. And you may have to open it just slightly more, just so you can get it through the clay. And so now we have that through there. And now we're going to put our chain of berries on there. And see, now you can see why I did one chain 1.5 inch and one 2 inch. One just hangs slightly lower than the other one. And now we're going to take and put that through our 6mm and then close that tight. And there we have the next part, and now we're going to add the chain. One of the 6mm jump rings, we're going to take the top of our bead cap and we're going to attach it to the necklace. I also have the necklace, also you see here I have a 6mm jump ring, and the necklace is 2 pieces of 8.5 inch chain. Okay, so we're going to close this one up. So we got that done. So now we're going to add the clasp. Add a jump ring to one part of my chain up here, and like I said, I have 8.5 inches, 2 pieces, and we're going to attach one end of the chain to one end of our clasp here, and we're going to close that up nice and tight. And then now we're going to take and add it to the other end. 6mm jump ring, and just close it tightly. And then we have the nice clasp that's already done. And now we have your finished, beautiful polymer clay Christmas inspired necklace. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video and others, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to sign up for our email newsletter. Until next time, we'll see you soon.